Story 1. My adult son is autistic. Therefore, he qualifies for monthly visits by a psychiatrist, a psychologist, and a support coordinator. His mother died about 8 years ago when he was 15. I took custody and have been raising and caring for him ever since. During that time, I have managed to wean him off many medications and worked on his behavioral issues. Today, he is completely medication-free, very calm, easy to manage, follows most directions with a bit of patience, and shows no signs of violence or anger issues. Especially for someone autistic, he adapts to changes in routine exceptionally well. When professionals review his history, they are often surprised to see how he has changed. It amazes them when they meet him. The difference is remarkable, and those who read his history always mention that I must have done something right. Story 2. Most of the time, when I leave a group of people, I hear someone say, "What an ass," as I walk away. I must have a nice one. Story 3. My silly shirts. Like the one I was wearing yesterday that has a fluffy cat and says, "Fluff you, you fluffy fluff." Story 4. The compliment I receive most often is how great the items I make smell. I create leather products. People love the scent of leather. I have noticed a correlation between how much they say they love the smell and how unlikely they are to make a purchase. The more they claim to love the smell, the more likely they are to leave without buying anything. Story 5. My politeness. Although, to be honest, I do not know how some people start a conversation with rudeness. Sometimes I wish I could learn that skill. Story 6. People usually compliment me the most about how I am a great listener and always make them feel heard. Story 7. I am a 37-year-old man. We receive compliments maybe once or twice a year and rely on those. My last compliment was, "You raised nice children." Story 8. I get lots of compliments about my smile. I always respond with, "Thanks, my dad bought it." Because I never smiled before I got braces at 15. I legitimately did not know how to properly smile until I was 16 because I was so insecure about my terrible teeth. Story 9. My skin, I do not do much to it. Mostly genetics keep it looking clear. Everyone always asks me what products I use for skincare, but I do not use any. Story 10. The energy I give off has been described as feeling like sunshine multiple times. My nickname is Sunshine for many people. Story 11. Being sweet and open-minded. I do not go out of my way to do anything deliberately. I just be myself. It is kind of sad, though, that just treating people the way you want to be treated makes some people put you on a pedestal at times. But I am happy that being sincere is my strongest quality. Story 12. I am such a nice, sweet guy, and they would like their husband to be like me. I hate being the nice guy. Old saying slightly revised. Nice guys finish figuratively last, but we do like literally to finish. Story 13. Weight loss, hair natural ginger, and my nails for some reason. I do my own at-home do-it-yourself basic boring nails. I think it's because they glow a weird teal. I mix a white polish that glows blue with a green glow topcoat and an iridescent pearl chrome powder. Story 14. Being skilled with computers is usually recognized after people see me type 100 words per minute. I do not take it seriously because these are also people who become confused when presented with multiple browser options. Story 15. My hair and my height. I love compliments about my hair in particular because my husband does my hair. When I am complimented on my hair, so is he. Story 16. Mostly my humor and the way people feel around me. My eyes are another part of it. I love that former coworkers miss my jokes and singing at work. Story 17. My appearance. People compliment my eyes, lips, piercings, hair, and overall style and vibe when I meet them. It is very nice. Story 18. I mostly socialize only at the gym, focusing on how heavy I bench press or how deep and heavy I squat. Story 19. That I sound mature. I do not know what that means, but I have been that way for many years. After spending a lot of time doom scrolling the internet, I learned that it is apparently a creepy thing to say to someone. Story 20. When I was younger, it was mostly about my smile and my hair. Now at age 50, I rarely get compliments, but I like to give compliments, especially to people who may not get many. It is so easy to say something nice about someone. Story 21. My penmanship. A defense attorney during jury selection, where I was a potential juror, complimented my handwriting in front of the whole courtroom. It was bizarre, but I was very flattered. The two other things strangers regularly compliment me on are my hair and my dog, a German Shepherd and Husky mix. Story 22. Usually my voice is apparently dangerously distracting. I have had people tell me I could read the phone book and make it sound like foreplay, which is both flattering and deeply impractical. Story 23. My Christmas cookies are my grandmother's recipe. They are different from most cookies here. Other than that, nothing really. Story 24. The one thing I receive the most compliments about is my hat. It does not happen very often, but it is what I hear about the most. Story 25. The only person who compliments me from time to time is my father. He says that I am very quick to come up with solutions for everything. I am not. I am just good at searching how to solve things. Story 26. That I am good at my job, that I am a good friend, that I am a good roommate, and that I am a good dad. I saved the best for last. Story 27. It used to be about how smart I am. Then it was about how funny I am. Then I joined a band, and it was about how good a guitarist I am. But I have problems with self-confidence, so I think a lot about how it might just be people being nice. What if I am not as smart as other people think? What if my jokes are obnoxious? What if people only think I am good at guitar because they only hear me playing the well-rehearsed parts? What if people do not actually like me and are just trying to keep me from being more irritating than I already am? It has already been proven to be a real fear at least once, and it has made it harder for me to trust that I am not just being neurotic. I am becoming afraid of compliments because I no longer trust that they are sincere. Story 28. Nothing much anymore now that I am a 30-plus-year-old woman. But if it happens, it is my hair, eyes, appearance, humor, or voice. Story 29. Deep voice, often told I should be a radio host. Of course, I guess that could also mean I am too unattractive to be on television. Story 31. My glasses transition from blue on the top to a light transparent green on the bottom. I love them so much. 2. How well I do with patience. I am the person who can take a not-so-good situation and turn it around, or at least explain what is going on and why. The majority of the time, I have happy patience. Story 31. The watch I am wearing is a cheap Amazon watch from Mini Focus. Intelligence and my sense of humor have been described as being like a sniper. Very precise and not rapid, but usually hitting the target. Story 32. My ability to listen. Little do they know it is just because I have nothing to say 99% of the time. Truly a gift and a curse. Story 33. My pleasantness, forethought, proactiveness, willingness to help, thoughtfulness, and intelligence. Story 34. The police always compliment me on staying off drugs and not harming anyone. I think they are just trying to get my reaction to see if they need to conduct a search, but it is still nice. Story 35. As a man who has received only 5 compliments in my 28 years of life so far, here they are. 1. Eyelashes. 2. Wavy hair. 3. Light brown eyes, caramel color. 4. How I smelled nice one day after leaving the gym. 5. Being Japanese somehow works as a compliment and I do not know how. Story 36. My appearance. During actual conversations, people compliment my face. If I overhear someone talking about me, they usually mention my body. One time somebody called me kind, and that has stuck with me the most. However, I have only heard that once or twice in my life. I like being considered kind the most. Story 37. My voice is beautiful or angelic, especially when I am singing, according to nearly everyone. A few people say my voice sounds childish, but I take that as a compliment. I am short, and 2 years ago, when I was at camp at age 15, a girl was surprised at 10:15 because she thought it was 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock. She found me very emotional, tactile, and cute, and I have that childish voice. Story 38. Usually, a shirt I'm wearing has a reference on it. My favorite is the little girl and the dog from Full Metal Alchemist doing the Dragon Ball fusion dance over a transmutation circle. Otherwise, it's my hair. I get a lot of comments from older ladies who like my curls and blonde color. Though a good chunk of them accuse me of having a perm, I definitely don't. Story 39. People often say I am very intelligent, and I disagree. I do not believe in that. I am not perfect. They do not need to tell me that I am intelligent because it is not always true. I do foolish things occasionally. Story 40. I am a genuine and good person who cares for the people around me. I have helped some people face their hard times and inspired them to do better in their relationships. Yes, it feels incredible to be perceived like that by the people around me, and I am very proud of that. Story 41. My sense of humor and my intelligence with numbers mostly. The second one I have never understood because I am not actually intelligent. I just make a rough guess within a reasonable range with a certain degree of confidence, and people rarely, if ever, question me. Story 42. I have received about 2 compliments on my 20-kilogram weight loss, which is not a lot, but it is strange that it has happened twice. Story 43. I never really remember compliments because I do not believe them anyway. My brain immediately goes into denial and rejects the compliment straight away. Story 44. I receive compliments about my artwork and poetry. It is hard for me not to think, oh, they are just being nice because of how badly it has been written. You know? I do not know. Story 45. How polite I am. It happens an unsettling amount in my humble opinion. I was once at a music festival with thousands of people. A man approached me and said I stood out to him among everyone because I was so polite in how I moved through the crowd. Story 46. My wife must see something in me that keeps her around. Yes, her low standards and the fact that I am not a creep alcoholic and that I do not hit or abuse her. Story 47. Being an adult, I guess I don't cause drama. If I need help, I ask for help and people show up. We are all human and make mistakes. Tell others not to be taken advantage of and discuss things before making a decision. There is nothing worse than someone volunteering you without your consent. Story 48. Physical traits I can't control. I get compliments on my eyes. Physical traits I can somewhat control. I get compliments on my skin, which I try to take care of. Other things I get complimented on. My laugh, I am a big laugh person. My energy, I am a big energy person. My vulnerability, I might cry right now, I swear. I think mostly authenticity or something like it. People feel what I am putting out, and they appreciate it. I appreciate their appreciation. I also compliment other people. Create an environment of giving appreciation, and it will be reciprocated. Story 49. How successful I am, but it doesn't impact me as much as you might think because few want to be my friend. It is true that I am and have been quite successful in many things. I have a lot of talents and am very ambitious with businesses, but most seem to keep me at a distance or worse. They only want to get close to me to steal my secrets or copy my businesses. I think a lot about why I have so few friends. I think it is because maybe I am intimidating since I am a high achiever. I am humble, though. I experience a lot of pain and am not great at everything, but many people say I am. They say, wow, is there anything you can't do? You are so talented. I am impressed, etc. Maybe I should start replying, yeah, I can't seem to make friends. I guess we all have our blessings and curses. I am also a great listener. I will just let people vent for hours and listen. So, I don't know, I end up with a lot of takers. It is hard to find genuine friends who understand me and match my energy. Story 50. Me being smart. It's usually a lot of older people saying I am wiser or smarter than my years. I am 20. I just sit back and think, really? I am just using common sense. Story 51. Usually my hair. I am a 36-year-old man, and my hair has been going very slowly gray, still mostly dirty blonde, but with gray temples and strands here and there throughout, since my early 20s. I have always had longish and curly locks that people love. Now that I am young, older people love the gray as well. Story 52. Oddly, my eyelashes are noticeable. I'm a guy, and all my life I have been told they are big and fluffy. Some thought they were extensions or something else. It became so common that an older hairdresser cutting my hair mentioned it. I asked why this happens, and she said her eyelashes were mostly gone and she often gets debris in her eyes. She said it is called something starting with the letter M. Story 53. Physically, my very short pixie haircut. I literally just received a compliment 20 minutes ago. Generally, my kindness, generosity, and community service. Story 54. My confidence. Although I tell them it is just my way of avoiding pain or annoyance, and they laugh and tell me I am hilarious. I was not even joking. Then they laugh again. Story 55. My eyes have been praised since I was little, but I think they would suit someone more feminine better. Despite that, I like them. In general, my eyelashes are very large, very black, thick, and curved. The color of my eyes is forest green mixed with brown. I wish I had taken the color from my mother. Hers is a very strong light green. Story 56. I am a good person with a kind, genuine heart. That is actually true, but the downside is that it often feels more like a curse than a blessing. People tend to take advantage of my kindness. Story 57. My hair reaches my waist and is a rich brown mixed with past colors I have used, such as purple, blue, and ash blonde. It has a slight wave. Story 58. My Dali-esque handlebar mustache was the best one I ever had at my job. I once had an autistic gentleman look up at me and start singing Hakuna Matata to himself. I have never felt a stronger compliment than that. Story 59. Being very thin, I try to create really good outfits, style my hair, and improve my makeup skills. However, people only ever talk about my thinness. Then they want to know how, and I have to explain that the answer is eating disorder recovery. Story 60. My hands are veiny, which some say looks cool, but in my opinion, they are nothing special. Story 61. I feel a certain way now that I have been staring at the screen for 3 minutes and cannot think of any time I have ever been complimented about anything. This is one of those things you would never think about unless someone mentions it. Story 62. Most people in my life compliment my intelligence, hair, and eyes. My boyfriend compliments every part of me. Story 63. I am nice and polite. Unfortunately, that is about the only thing people tend to notice about me. It does not lead to friendships or anything more. People only turn to me when they need a favor or support. I also receive compliments on my cooking, but again, it only results in people reaching out to ask for free food. Because I am so nice, I often just do it anyway. Story 64. A girl at my job told me she likes how I balance my work life with my personal life and wished her husband was more like me. What she meant was that when work has to be done, I usually put my fun aside, practicing delayed gratification. I then told her I have another job. I wanted to flex a little, so I brought my bike and my CT5 Blackwing to work the same week. Story 65. People rarely give me compliments, but when they do, it is usually about my ability to make people laugh. I guess my sense of humor shines through even in the toughest situations. It feels good to bring lightness and joy to others, especially during challenging times. I remember, one time at a party, someone told me that my jokes were the highlight of the night, and it made me feel really appreciated. Moments like these remind me of the power of laughter and how it can brighten someone's day. So, I will keep cracking jokes and spreading smiles wherever I go. Story 66. People often compliment me on my ability to listen and make them feel heard. It is a quality that I take pride in, and I believe it is essential in building strong connections with others. Being a great listener allows me to understand people better and offer support when needed. It is heartwarming to know that this simple act can make a difference in someone's day. If you ever need a listening ear or a shoulder to lean on, I am here for you. Let us chat over a cup of coffee and share our stories. Who knows, we might just brighten each other's day. Story 67. Physically, my electric blue eyes. Not physically, I am incredibly artistically talented, apparently. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.